In today's video, I'm going to talk about the menstrual cycle. So if you want to know the length or the duration of your menstrual cycle and what really happens from day 1 to the last day of your menstrual cycle, then watch this video to the end. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to Ask the Pharmacy Guy for more videos like this. For most ladies, their menstrual cycle is 28 to 30 days. Some of them go to the extent to 35 days and so forth. Some too are not able to get to 20 days. Some too is like 25 days going. But on this particular diagram, I'm using a 30-day menstrual cycle. Okay. The first day that you see your menses, the first day you start bleeding, is when your menstrual cycle starts. The very first day you see blood is when your menstrual cycle starts. Normally, it lasts for 5 days. Some can extend up to 6-7 days. Anything after 7 days, you need to seek for medical attention. There might be a problem. After your menses, it takes about 19 to 25 days for you to see your next menses. Now, if you want to calculate and know the actual number of days that your menstrual cycle lasts, this is what you have to do. You can monitor your menstrual cycle for 3 solid months. So that is a three solid cycles. So for the first menstrual cycle, assuming you get 28 days for your first menstrual cycle, and then your next menstrual cycle you get 29 days, and then the next one, that's the third menstrual cycle, you get, assuming you get under 28 days, let's take it like that, you're going to add this 3 and then you divide by the number of months or the number of cycles, let me say like that. That is 3 cycles. So I'm going to add up the three menstrual cycle days, 28, 29, 30, and then you divide by the number of cycles. Excuse me, you divide by the number of cycles, that is 3. So I think roughly I think you're going to get 85, then you divide by 3, that's going to be roughly 28.3 days. That's going to be 28.3 days. So that's going to be your menstrual cycle. Like, that is if this keeps on repeating, you understand? If you're so lucky, sometimes one particular number can repeat. If you're able to go to like 5 menstrual cycles, if you're able to calculate it up to 5 menstrual cycles, you're going to see that a particular number is repeating itself. Let's say 5 menstrual cycles, and you are getting 28 and another 28, or 29. Let's say 28, 29, 28, and 29. You see, one particular number is standing out, that's the 28. So it means that you factor the recurring number out to be your menstrual cycle days. Okay, yes, so that is roughly how to know your menstrual cycle, the number of days. But now, the menstrual cycle comes in 2 phases. So this is the inner part of this particular diagram. You see, I'm having the follicular phase and then the luteal phase. Now this is the two main phases in the menstrual cycle. Now let's start with the follicular phase. What really happens in the follicular phase? So from the one you start bleeding, the follicular phase starts until when you ovulate, until the ovulation day, before it ends. And then the luteal phase continues right after the ovulation till your next menses. Okay, now let's talk about the follicular phase. Normally this particular phase happens in the ovary. This is the ovary. This is the ovary. Yeah. So what happens is that the ovary is made up of tiny eggs. These tiny eggs are surrounded by follicles, follicle layers. So as you can see in this video, you see this particular diagram, so the blue one indicates the follicle, the follicle layer, and then the black round represent the egg. Okay, so within this stage there are two hormones that are very responsible in ensuring that this tiny egg, you see these tiny eggs get matured and are being released into the fallopian tube. You understand? Yeah. So in this stage we have the LH and then the FSH. These two hormones help with the growth of this tiny egg to become matured, and then also helps in the release of the egg. Yeah, so it starts from here. The moment you start your menses, this tiny egg also starts growing. So it starts from the primordial stage, primordial follicle, and then it goes into the primary follicle stage, then the secondary follicle stage, where we have the thicker cells also growing on it, and then gradually by the 14th day or the 13th day or the 15th day, LH and then FSH helps together with estrogen to release the egg from its follicle. At that time the egg is already matured, and then it can be fertilized by any sperm. Yeah. So basically the follicular stage starts from day 1 to the day that ovulation takes place. So normally day 1 to day 14 or day 15 or day 13. Yeah. So that is when the egg is going to be matured and then being released. Okay. Normally during ovulation, estrogen, a hormone called estrogen, is being released. So this is what the estrogen does. Assuming, so this is your uterine lining. This is your uterine lining. As you can see, this is your uterine lining. So let me do a rough sketch here. Yeah, so yeah, so this is your uterine lining. So this is what the estrogen does. That's during ovulation. During ovulation, a lot of estrogen, a hormone is a hormone. A lot of estrogen are being produced, and the estrogen helps to thicken this lining, the uterine lining. Remember, this is the uterus. This is the uterus, and then this is the lining. This is the lining. Yeah. So estrogen is being produced to thicken this lining with a lot of blood cells. Now, after ovulation, after the egg is being released, the follicle, the outer layer, the follicle left, is called corpus luteum. The corpus luteum. Yeah. This thing is yellowish in color. That is why it's called luteum. Yeah. Luteum means yellow, and then corpus means body. So a yellow body, is yellow in color. What this thing does after ovulation is that after ovulation, the corpus luteum starts producing progesterone, and this is the work of the progesterone. The progesterone is a hormone. Okay, yeah. So normally it's being called the pregnancy hormone. Its major job is to maintain pregnancy. Okay, is to maintain pregnancy. So this is what it does. Remember, we were talking about the uterine lining. Yeah, so estrogen starts by taking in it, and then progesterone also comes and then taking it more, thickens it more with blood cells and some glands. That is a nutrient rich glands, more glands and blood cells containing more nutrients, so that if after ovulation, within 24 hours after ovulation, so that if the egg is being fertilized, a fertilized egg, that is the embryo, will get a lot of nutrients to survive, So the progesterone is like, it's coming to feed the embryo, it's coming to feed the fertilized egg, okay, yeah, in the uterus. So the uterine lining becomes more thicker with more blood cells and nutrients, glands, okay. The moment the egg is being fertilized in the fallopian, starts fertilization in the fallopian tube, it comes down into the uterus, okay, here. So that is when it is going to implant itself into the uterine lining, okay. So by then, progesterone has already increased the thickness with more nutrients and blood cells. So this embryo, or this blastocyst, okay, that's the name, this blastocyst, gets more nutrients and then implant itself into the uterus lining, okay. That is when fertilization occurs, yeah. So but the moment it doesn't occur, the moment after 24 hours, if it doesn't occur, the body gets signals, okay, that the egg has disintegrate, okay, yeah, because no sperm cells been able to fertilize it, so the egg will disintegrate. It will be absorbed by the body, it will spoil, it will die, okay. The moment it dies, this corpus luteum will stop producing progesterone because there is no fertilization going on, so progesterone will stop. And once progesterone is stopped, let's say up to the 19th day, so after ovulation, which means that right from the 14th getting to the 15th day, from here progesterone is really high, and then after the 16th day, progesterone comes down again. So progesterone drops because the corpus luteum will stop producing progesterone, okay. So progesterone will drop, and then the body will get the signal that no egg has been fertilized, the egg wasn't fertilized. So right from the 19th day going, the body prepares to clear the uterus, the uterine lining, these thick blood vessels, and then nutrient rich glands begins to shed. So from the 20th day of your menstrual cycle, the body prepares to clear the uterus, okay, prepares to shed it. So from the 20th day, so the day that you see the menses again, okay. So by 29, 28, 29, 30, then the uterine lining has already gathered, and then you see it coming. So from the day one that you see it coming, that is your menses, then your second menstrual cycle starts again. The next one, your next menstrual cycle starts again, okay, yeah. So this is generally how things look like, okay.